Hello all, I've been sent another couple of nice little tools from Banggood to show you. You can tell by looking at them, it'll be a pretty brief review, so at the end of this vid, I'll show you something to look out for when ordering to ensure you receive goods relatively quickly. So to kick off, we have this 300mm rule. Nicely machined from solid aluminium, it looks and feels like a quality tool. This one is branded Red Arrow and is once again an almost exacting woodpecker's replica. On Banggood, this sells for just under £24 as opposed to just under £30 for the woodpeckers. There's a number of decent looking Red Arrow branded tools on Banggood for turning and layout. They do nice looking tri-squares too, which I was supposed to also review for you, but that'll have to wait for the next review as it's currently under restocking. So on this rule, once again blurred by my excellent photography, you have a centre scale on one side, as in 0 in the centre, going to 150mm in either direction. On the other side, a standard scale going from 0 at one end to 300mm at the other. Also at either end, you get two M5 tapped holes. These suggest the possibility of fitting a stop, but unfortunately Red Arrow don't offer one on Banggood. You might be able to notice I've drilled and tapped my holes to M6. This is because when not using it as a ruler, I attach it to one of my bits of kit. If you wanted an end stop for the rule, I'm pretty sure the woodpecker's hook stop would fit if you ditched the bolts in favour of M5. While at first look this might look like overkill for a simple rule, it actually makes a lot of sense when laying out in the middle of a piece, particularly using the centre scale. It feels very planted in use and not as skippy as the usual steel rules I use. The tapered edges mean you can easily get into the edge to mark with your pencil too. I mean, it's a ruler, so there's not much to mention except maybe that the machine finger slots are pretty good for moving the thing around on a surface or keeping it in place. A nice bit of kit, another that has ended up in daily use since getting it. So this curious looking device, despite looking like a thing some fictional characters are all after for its powers in a movie, is a circle template. An impressive thing to look at, it has an all metal construction and is capable of marking circles from 10 to around 73mm. I can't for the life of me remember what you call these mechanisms, comment below, but as you turn the top face of the gold outer against the bottom, a series of steel plates retract or constrict to give you your hole size. As you can see, it does give you the millimetre markings on the top to help you set it. Unfortunately, the indicator mark is about the size of a singular hydrogen atom, so you might not be able to see it on camera. Probably worth etching in your own mark, rather than relying on as yet unavailable cybernetic optics so you can see the one that's there. As if to demonstrate I was entirely exaggerating, I set the device to 60mm to draw a circle between the lines I did with the ruler earlier. Not the easiest thing to align in my example here, but nevertheless, it does seem to have perfectly met my two lines 60mm apart. If you do a lot of worktops or desk builds and whatnot, this could actually be a really useful layout tool. Because the adjustable plates in the centre are slightly off the surface, I wouldn't use it where you needed absolute accuracy, but for general repetitive hole or circle marking, it's not bad. I suppose it could also be useful for transferring the dimensions of something, like this piece of broom handle, to something else. Though of course, with a piece as small as that I have here, you could just draw around it for your mark. I don't know. If you can think of a way this might be useful over a standard compass, let us know in the comments. It's a well made and good looking thing, but does its usefulness, or lack of, justify its £18 price? So I get a fair few comments on my Banggood vids telling me how people's stuff takes ages to arrive, certainly not the 8 working days I've said most of my orders have arrived in. To avoid waiting a month or so for items, you need to look at the processing times. Captured here on my phone, as for some reason the main site was under maintenance access from the laptop, you'll see where it says ship from at the bottom with a select button. Hit the select button and a box will show you details about the processing time. In the example here, you can see the processing time is 15 days. That's 2 whole weeks before it'll even be shipped out to you, which could take another 8 to 10 days. However, in the case of these Festool style linear clamps, the processing time is listed as within 24 hours. This is what you want to look for quick delivery. Processing times can change too depending on stock levels or availability, so double check if you've had something sat in a basket for a while. Here's an example of one of my orders when I ordered some of the items for my original Banggood video. My order was shipped on December the 28th, 2018, a Friday, and arrived on January the 8th from China. 12 days overall, but as it included 2 weekends, was only 8 working days delivery. So yeah, double check when you order that your items have a 1 to 3 day processing and priority or standard 8 to 10 day delivery times, and you should avoid long waits for items coming from China. So I hope this is helpful to some of you. I'll leave links to the items shown in the description, and thanks for watching.